One man stands ready to deliver change we desperately need. A man I'm proud to call my friend. A man who will be the next president of the United States, Barack America.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States of America, Barack Obama. We can speak out and be more straightforward. I'm not going to be a mule. I got something to do. I got to go do boom, boom, boom.
Hillary Clinton is as qualified or more qualified than I am to be Vice President of the United States of America. Let's get that straight. And quite frankly, it might have been a better pick than me, but she's first rate.
I know I'm called middle class, Joe. It's not meant as a compliment. Means I'm not sophisticated. I want to be clear. I'm not going nuts.
You're a damn liar, man. That's not true. I can get things done. That's why I'm running. And you want to check my shape on it, let's do push-ups together, man. Let's run. Let's do whatever you want to do.
To the word united. To the number 30330. 30330. Or 303-330. Or BOO. Wait. But you got it. That saves billions of gallons of gasoline. I mean, billions of I think it's $2.3 billion worth of, $500 billion in savings and 2-point-something billion metric tons of CO2 going in the air. Well, folks, eliminate one tax loophole out of $1.6 trillion worth, $1.4 trillion worth. Out of $1.4 billion. It's hard to even say it, it's so much. And by the way, it's cost a lot of money. It cost about $740 billion over 10 years. Now is the time to heed the timeless advice from Teddy Roosevelt. Speak softly and carry a big stick. End of quote. I promise you, the president has a big stick. I promise you.
Joe, you want to administer the oath?
Am I doing this again? My memory is not as good as Justice Roberts, Chief Justice Roberts. I was a Democratic caucus. You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were, but now you got to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids.
In Delaware, the largest growth in population is Indian Americans moving from India. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking.
Chuck Graham, state senator's here. Chuck, stand up, Chuck. Let him see you. Oh, God love you. What am I talking about? I tell you what, you're making everybody else stand up, though, pal. Thank you very, very much. His mom lived in Long Island for 10 years or so. God rest her soul. And although your mom's still alive as your dad passed. God bless her soul. I agree that everybody, once they, in fact, anyway, my time's up.
Thank you, Vice President.
To be self-evident. All men and women created you know the thing. Among many qualified people, I'm the best qualified person for this job. I'm beginning to see why your wife left you. Why you texting? Why? You're getting nervous, man. COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, it's taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it. You know, rapidly rising I don't know. I just spoke at Dartmouth on healthcare. at the medical school, or not, I guess I wasn't actually on the campus, but the people from the medical school were at the, I want to be clear, I'm not going nuts. I'm not sure whether it was a medical school or where the hell I spoke, but it was on the campus. I propose, and I'm going to digress slightly, we're in a situation, the president asked me to head up a cancer moonshot in another country and annex a significant portion of it called Crimea. He's saying that it was my boss, it was his fault. Guatemala, El Salvador, and to win and say in Honduras and say, look, I took on Putin in terms of Iraq. In terms of what was going on in Ukraine. By strengthening, by investing $100 billion in education, in global warming efforts. It's a whole range of things. We can't afford it by just eliminating, beginning to treat reward work as much as wealth.
Get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. If you want to protect yourself, get a double-barrel shotgun. Have the shells, the 12-gauge. If you want, and watch the hair used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub. Used to come up and reach in the pool pond in the sun, and the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. If you want to protect yourself, get a double-barrel shotgun. Have the shells, a 12-gauge shotgun. Don't jump! Don't jump! Don't jump! They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. To say that LGBT... LGBTQT people have no civil rights. No man has a right to raise a hand to a woman in anger. We have to just change the culture, period, and keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it. It will be a big, no, I really mean it. And immediately change the law in the state of Delaware protecting transgender people. We have to eliminate the funding gap that exists between minority white and majority white and non-white districts. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. I didn't get a chance to flash shift in a second. I was afraid I'd go through those guys. I said, no. I said, if we were in high school, I'd take you behind the gym and beat the hell out of him. Corruption? Trump was out there tweeting again this morning. I called him President Tweety. Well, Trump is pursuing a damaging and erratic trade war without any strategy, by the way. This guy is moving to just foment hate. President Trump and the
demagogues around the world, Donald Trump is reelected, he doesn't want to shed light. He wants to generate heat, and he's stoking violence in our cities. My physical as well as my mental fitness. And I want to see these beautiful young ladies. I want to see them dancing when they're 4 years older, too. I'm looking forward to this, man. You walk behind me in a debate. Come here, man.
Why should people want to make a change, though?
Well, that's up to them to decide.
Why should they?
It's for them to decide.
Well, make your case.
I'm not going to.
People want to make a change, though.
Well, that's up to them to decide.
People want to make a change, though.
Well, that's up to them to decide.
People want to make a change, though.
Well, that's up to them to decide.
Why should they?
It's for them to decide.
Well, make your case.
I'm not going to. We can't rebuild our economy and meet this climate crisis, exacerbating the need for environmental justice. Sorry, as a bug. Speaking of the environment. We need to work again with Canada and Mexico as neighbors, not as adversaries. Donald Trump does pose an extra threat to this. It's not hypothetical. There's things that are worth dealing with China tough on. That makes it far more durable, reliable, and powerful. And partnerships built on coercion. Because if you could take care, if you were a quartermaster, you can sure and hell take care of running a department store thing, or in the second floor of the ladies' department or whatever. You know what I mean? And what makes his wild claims and hopes, he now hopes we don't notice what he said or won't remember. And when he does follow through or doesn't do, would follow through the exact opposite. 1.2 billion. You know what I mean? And what makes his wild claims and hopes, he now hopes we don't notice what he said or won't remember. And when he does follow through or doesn't do, would follow through the exact opposite. 1.2 billion. So you go ahead and you stack spaghetti sauce at a store and in a supermarket. You control the guy or the woman who brings out the carts on a forklift. What happened? The way China will respond is when we gather the rest of the world that in fact believes in open trade and making sure that we're in a position that the world that we deal with WHO the right way. That in fact that's when things began to change. I looked at it anyway. That's what I think my plan. I know what my plan does. Senator, I mean, but I mean, it's not about. I know you're supporting by saying booing, but look, here's the deal. And I had a nurse nurses at Walter Reed Hospital who would bend down and whisper in my ear. They'd go home and get me pillows. They would make sure they'd actually. Probably nothing ever taught in, you can't do it in the COVID time, but they'd actually breathe in my nostrils to make me move, to get me moving. So you don't make somebody else sick. Sick. What's with this guy? Well, the only thing we can do about it is be prepared. We have a whole group of lawyers who are going out to every voter registration physician in the states, the secretaries of state, making sure that they, in fact, have a game plan as to how they're going to allow the voting to take place. But in the 2020 census, which is now 2 censuses ago, soon to be, estimated that 200 million people have died. Probably by the over 120 million dead from COVID. That's why I made it a priority my entire career to work closely with you. From the time I got to the Senate 180 years ago, as well. you know, as well as my tenure as vice president.
Amendment 1787, the United States Constitution. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Kingswood Community Center. Actually, that's the one down I used to work. It's a joke. You know where we were. Anyway, welcome to the nation's Constitution Center. I had the great privilege of being the guest leader of this outfit for a year. It's an appropriate place to make the speech I'm about to make. Great. Hey, everyone. I'm Jill Biden's husband. But the truth is, she's the strongest person I know. She's a backbone like a ramrod. That's the kind of first lady this Jill Biden will be. God love you. I know you're trying to goad me, but I mean, I'm so forward looking to have an opportunity to sit with the president or stand with the president in debates. So I couldn't tell anybody but Barack. Don't have here in Miami, in Florida. You don't have it here, and that is if you keep. Tomorrow's Superstar Tuesday, and I want to thank you all. I tell you what, I'm rushing ahead, aren't I? We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing. If you agree with me, go to Joe 30330. We choose truth over facts. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Donald Trump does pose an excellent threat to this. It's not hypothetical.
This is pretty serious. By the way,
Wait. Take the AR-14. A lot of guys want it. I'm not worried.
Okay, Joe Biden yesterday hurling profanities at a construction worker from Detroit who questioned him on his stance about guns.
yeah, really? So when someone engages you, you curse them out? That Michigan mill rights employee, Jerry Wayne, joins us now. Jerry, appreciate you joining us. Set the scene. When did you realize you'll have a chance to question the former vice president about his stance on guns?
Well, I heard when I first came to work that he'd be coming in, so I spent a little bit of time gathering my thoughts on a question that I might be able to ask. I had no idea that he was going to be taking questions or if it was going to be that type of scenario. He started making his rounds, shaking people's hands, and he made it to my way, and I stopped him. I started to ask him a question. He could have easily said, "I'm not taking questions," and I would have very respectfully walked away. But he wanted to listen to my question, and I don't think that he was ready for it.
Well, it was hard to hear. What did you ask him?
Well, I asked him how he was going to be helping get us work, us union workers, work in the future. We seem to be doing fine at the moment, but there's always room for improvement, and I wanted to give him the opportunity to show us where that improvement could come from.
And
I also asked him, I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
I also asked him how he wanted to get the vote of the working man when a lot of us wield arms. We bear arms, and we like to do that. And if he wants to give us work and take our guns, I don't see how he's going to get the same vote.
So his message has changed, right? Is that your concern? Because he looked at you and he said, "That's not true. I never said that." So we went to the Wayback Machine, as Steve always says, and we found what he said in the past that really concerns you. Watch this.
Gun owners out there who say, well, a Biden administration means they're going to come for my guns.
Bingo. You're right if you have an assault weapon. The fact of the matter is they should be illegal, period. Look, the Second Amendment doesn't say you can't restrict the kinds of weapons people can own.
So that was one of the viral videos, Jerry, that you had seen. Another one is where he talks about putting Beto O'Rourke in charge of guns. We're going to run that too. Watch.
I want to make something clear. I'm going to
guarantee you this is not the last year seeing this guy. You're going to take care of the gun problem with me. You're going to be the one that leads this effort. I'm counting on you.
Right, and that's the video right there, Jerry, that scared you, right?
Yeah. It was a little bit disturbing to see that a politician wants to take away my right to defend myself.
So which Joe Biden do you believe?
The one that wants to take my guns.
So you told him you want to, most of these assaults are happening with handguns, and you want to take my AR, he thought 14, but he says means AR-15, we think. So you say he should not touch your AR-15, and it's not an assault weapon.
He doesn't need to touch anybody's weapon at all. What we need to do is we need to concentrate on teaching people how to respect firearms and how to use them, not take them away.
And put his hands behind my head and pulled me close.
First, this video is not politically partisan. We've all heard stories of how former Vice President Joe Biden gets a little too close to people, especially women with odd hair-smelling accusations.
Get up very close to me from behind, lean in, smell my hair, and then plant a slow kiss on the top of my head.
Weird kisses.
And then he reached over and put his hands behind my head and pulled me close, and I thought, he's going to kiss me. He started rubbing noses with me.
And awkward close holds.
Got a lot of thanks to give him.
Many probably thought that Joe's just a little odd like that, and just like getting really close to people. Since there was no other accusations against him, that was before Tara Reid came out with her story and accusations over the past few months. Tara Reid was a staffer to Joe Biden when he was a U.S. Senator. Tara claims that Joe Biden assaulted her in a hallway around the U.S. Capitol building in 1993. After mounting pressure to respond, Joe Biden finally agreed to address Tara Reid's credible accusations on MSNBC's Morning Joe. So